Hello and welcome back to Lommel in Belgium, the 66th issue or running of the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. My name is Paul Mailing. You join us here live from the circuit. Temperature just above 15 degrees. We witnessed a great race one just a short while ago. And at the moment, it's Team Germany who are in the driving seat. After picking up 8 points in the first race, Max Nagel with a third and Ken Roczen with a fifth. They are the team to beat. They are 6 clear at the moment of Team Belgium, who had a 4th and a 10th with Clément de Sale and Jeremy van der Hoorbeek. France were 3rd in the classification at the moment. They're on 21 points, so 7 points further back, but they're tied with the USA. After Ryan Dungey had a 7th, Blake Baggett had a 14th. And for Blake Baggett, it was quite an eventful race. He came round 23rd on the first official lap. He was much further down the order than that. When he came round over the finish line jump for the very first time, he got himself up to 18th and fell back down to 22nd. He clawed his way back up to 13th, but lost a position on the final lap and eventually came home in 14th. His teammate, Ryan Dungey, came home in 7th. But it's still okay for Team USA, the defending champions, as they're tied with France for 3rd. But Germany a long way ahead at the moment. There's also still a very, very long way to go in this competition as well. It's a team event. You need all 3 riders to pull together. At the end of 3 races and 2 riders each race, the 6 scores will be totted up. The worst score from each nation will be dropped, giving you the best 5 scores. It's 1 point for a win, 2 for second, 3 for third, down to 40th, the amount of riders in the race. And the lowest points wins. We're getting ready to go and speak to Amy. She's down on the grid with 1 or 2 riders. And hopefully this second race will be just as enticing and as enthralling as Moto number 1. It's race 2, MX2 and Open, which sees the likes of Baggett and Barsha go head-to-head with Team America.
We're down on the start line for the second race of the day. Ken de Dijker is your home nation's... Oh, hello. I didn't recognise you there with your goggles on. Is your home nation's, how are you feeling? Obviously, it's pretty important.
Yeah, it's important, but like just have 2 good races and just give everything. It's the last race, so nothing on the table no more.
Best of luck out there. And right, before we see the second race, we're going to see the highlights from the first.
Well, here's what happened in Moto number 1. The gate dropped. And straight away around the outside, Max Nagel it was who found his way into the lead with Rui Gonçalves and Antonio Cairoli. Cairoli, though, eventually came through at the end of the first lap to pass Rui Gonçalves, and it was Italy who led then every single lap. Lupino, you see his bike there, that's the teammate to Antonio Cairoli, didn't finish the race. Ken Roczen was having a great ride on the 250. He was the fastest MX2 rider out there. But in the early stages, Rui Gonçalves, who eventually dropped from 2nd position down to all the way down to 12th. Ryan Dungey found himself crashing out of 6th place, losing a position to Evgeny Bobryshev with about 4 or 5 laps to go. Tony Cairoli, though, was heading up Gauthier Paul and Max Nagel, Clément de Sale, Ken Roczen. Bobryshev, we saw him go through. This was Clément de Sale as he battled his way to 4th place for Team Germany, but it was Cairoli who was victorious in Moto number 1. Germany lead, though, the classification after that first race. Adam Wheeler from OnTrackOffRoad.com joins me. That was a pretty interesting first race, wasn't it? MX1, MX2?
Yeah, definitely, Paul. I think the expected winner, though, I mean, Tony Cairoli, just consistency of speed over the lap times. It was he was a class apart. You know, it's going to be interesting. Germany in pole position. You know, the last motor of the day is going to be the big one, I think.
Yeah, still, we always say that, don't we? And we're looking at America at the moment. They're only tied with France in 3rd place, but they're still in a very, very strong position in 4th. The start list for race 2, MX2 and Open. Germany, that's how they qualified yesterday. Germany, Belgium, Italy, Netherlands, and on so and so. And there you see the riders lining up in this second race. Blake Baggett and Justin Barsha for Team USA. Marvin Musquin, Xavier Bourg for France. Australia have got Luke Stike and Todd Waters, with Great Britain's Jake Nichols and Max Anstey going away there as well for the GB. Belgium have got Jeremy Van Hoorbeek and Ken de Dijker. Germany, Roxen and Schiffer, with the Netherlands with Glenn Koldenhoff on the first time out today for Jeffrey Herlings, and a lot of good guys in there as well. But Adam Wheeler, the calm before the storm here. Ken Roxen showed he was the fastest MX2 guy out there. He's starting alongside Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, we see. But Great Britain, from their point of view, Max Anstey and Jake Nichols. We're probably looking for a great result from Max, aren't we, in this one? Yeah, I think Max was probably the little bit of the controversial choice in the team, you know, edging out Sean Simpson, but he's actually turning out to be, going on yesterday's evidence, you know, one of our strongest riders on the 450 there in the sand. Just saw a quick glimpse there of number 27, Jeffrey Herlings. He'll be looking for a decent result here. Didn't look that great in qualifying, still won it though. Yeah. Had one or two problems, arm pump up, suspension handling problems, that kind of thing. But Baggett and Barsha was the one who created all the headlines yesterday. Yeah. Crashing out through the fencing, got outside assistance, finished 6th, but then was disqualified from the event. America still qualified though, in what, 5th place, 4th place, something like that. But he was actually pretty angry with that decision, Paul. I mean, somebody pulled the fence up. He said no one touched his bike. You know, it's how far do you go for outside assistance? Well, yeah, I mean, if you somebody cheers you on. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the decision was made. They qualified anyway, and that's it. You know, this is where it counts. And he's obviously just watched on, seen his teammates Blake Baggett and Ryan Dungey in the first race bring it home. Big crash with Dungey in the end, towards the end of the third race. I don't know if you saw it on the TV, but 3 laps before the end, got out of shape going through the waves, back end stepped out and chucked him over the bars. We just saw him picking himself up, but he was a very long way away from the bike, that's for sure, and the bike was facing the wrong way into the hoarding. That's just along the background there, running from left to right, right in front of the VIP. So let's get back to business here. Race 2. MX2 and MX Open, the 250s versus the 450s. Roxen there, ready to go, look, in the MX2 category, number 24, Team Germany. He's going to be fired up. He's won the MX2 class for the last 2 years. He's looking to do the same here. This will be his last race today. Barsha, yeah. Barsha, a whole shot for me. I think you're right. He got one yesterday, pulled a great one. And where's Barsha starting from? Herlings has got a flyer, look. Wow. Herlings. Could that be race over as they go through? Well, we'll soon find out, because these conditions will certainly favour someone like Jeffrey Herlings. Is that Italy? Guarneri in 2nd, Barsha there in 3rd place, and maybe even Van Hoorbeek in 4th, or maybe even Roxen in 4th, or is that Roxen there in about 10th place, just going over the drop now in the background. We'll soon pick them up as they come over the line, but certainly a couple of Belgians in there, maybe a German in there. There's Roxen. Oh, somebody just going down. A couple of riders. Is that 56, Martin Barr? And Team Holland in the first one. I think you've got Italy in 2nd place. Holland, Jeffrey Herlings is going through that monster rig section there with the lights. Jeffrey Herlings leads. Guarneri, Italy 2nd, Barsha, America 3rd, de Dijker, Belgium 4th, ahead of his teammate Van Hoorbeek. Tano, Lierop, Estonia, Marvin Musquin, France, Schiffer, Germany, Guillot, Switzerland, Philip Bengtsson from Sweden, then Nico Koskela from Finland. We've got Roxen down in 13th place. Blake Baggett, another bad start for him, down in 14th, ahead of Cody Cooper. Here's a battle for, well, not the lead, because Herlings trying to check out. Look at that, 2.5 seconds between the first 5 corners, Jeffrey Herlings. Be interesting to see what his lap times are. Wow, look at that. Barsha into 2nd position, I think 3rd place. That's him here, number 3 on the red Honda, just going out of shot now. Then we've got the Suzuki of Tano Lierop of Estonia. He was looking pretty quick in practice this morning, but no stranger to riding in the sand. Had a great result in Lierop a couple of weekends ago, Adam Wheeler. Yeah, he's one of those riders that seems to have been based, you know, almost eternally in Lommel. He's certainly done his mileage around here. But Guarneri, I mean, if you're looking at Germany, are current leaders of the Motocross of Nations. You've got Marcus Schiffer just inside the top 10, with Ken Roxen just outside the top 10. Barsha going after de Dijker. This is where he crashed yesterday. He had the line that de Dijker's on, and then it suddenly turned right about there. Yeah, he's going to have to be slightly cautious. I mean, it's they can't afford to take many more risks with the Team USA. Just picking up high points at the moment midway through this competition. Yeah, they're pretty well placed at the moment there with Barsha there, 3 points. Where's his teammate? Baggett down in 14th when he came over the line.
if we took a hypothetical situation and stuck the checker flag out now, then it's really favourable for Team Belgium. You've got De Dijker and Van Horbeke in top 5 positions. They would be leading this going into the last moto.
Well, what we'll do, when they do come over the line to complete their first full lap, we'll take the lap chart, we'll take the overall classification that we have here after the first race. There's Herlings, doubling his way quickly through that rhythm section right at the end there. So too Ken De Dijker and Barsha. That's where, through the monster sign there, that's where Dungey went down. 155.7 for Jeffrey Herlings, 156.3 for De Dijker, 58.8 for Justin Barsha in third, a 59 for Tanel Lierop, and then we're into the 2 minutes already with David Guarneri, Roxon in 6, Van Horbeke 7, Marvin Muscan 8, Schiffer 9, Guyot 10.
You can see he's got it already, that advantage, Paul. If he can maintain that gap, then whether he gets a bit of arm pump or he's still got suspension issues or setup issues on that 350, then he'll be able to manage it. I
think, to be honest, he was riding a little bit tight. You know, the comments that he made after Lierop or after Faenza, you know, looking forward to coming here, beating Cairoli, beating the Americans, first time in a race on a big bike with competition that matters. And I think he probably just rode a little bit tight yesterday, went to go too hard, too fast after his bad start. And I think he's going to be pretty settled now. And I spoke to his mechanic briefly this morning and just said after the warm-up, everything sorted with the suspension. He said yes. So he's going to be looking at trying to get a decent result here. Conditions starting to favour him. Has he gone down? Or has he saved it?
I think he saved it.
Well, that's the teammate of...
it's bad for the Netherlands.
Bad for the Netherlands. Goldenhoff.
Clutch hanging off the bars.
He's been off it, hasn't he? Barsha managed to save it. He managed to save it. But this is the thing, isn't it? This is what people have been talking about with Barsha, one of the most exciting kids on the racetrack. But because of his style, his racing style, and his always aggressive and attacking and all the rest of it,
unpredictable.
Around somewhere like here, he's going to be treading a very, very thin line, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, actually, in the qualification heat yesterday of this class, I kind of predicted these three would sprint away in MX Open. I had like Herlings, De Dijker, Barsha down, and that's kind of what happened. De Dijker yesterday didn't get the start. But I think the real battle is going to be between these two. You know, Ken's notorious for having a little bit of inconsistency with his rhythm and speed in the sand. You know, whether like Justin can keep up with him and is he going to try and make a move on the inside?
He's made a move. Yeah. Final turn.
Has he got him?
On the left, as we look at the two riders, he's making a move. He's alongside Ken De Dijker, and Barsha scrubs, keeps it nice and low, moves in a second position. He's 7.5 seconds down on Jeffrey Herlings, though, who's still lapping in 1 minute 55s.
That's what I mean. Herlings has got that gap now. I mean, it's nearly 8 seconds, like you said, Paul. It's
De Dijker fighting back, takes a look over, takes the front wheel away from Barsha, who won't like that, who's retaliates here. Wants to fire it back up the inside. There's a whole load of braking bumps down there on the inside. He'll lose time, and he does.
And Ken is no stranger to the old brake check in the middle of a race, is he? So we've got two very similar kind of characters here.
This is going to be great for the crowd because the Belgian fans are going to be rooting for the home favourite here, Ken De Dijker, who are very well placed in the classification second.
Oh, who's that carrying the onboard? Is that called?
Van Horbeke. So
disaster for Belgium.
For Belgium then. So they can't afford any more, and he's off the bike there. So that's going nowhere. That's a terminal, and he knows that. So Van Horbeke then, as everybody else is over the line, 2 laps complete.
Big repercussions for this Motocross of Nations,
This is what it's all about. Germany, 24 points. Belgium, 26 at the moment, but that was with Van Horbeke classed as
10th in the first race.
So look at that. France, USA, third at the moment on 31, so already tightening up. We'll get back to that screen in a moment, or a bit later on. Oh! Barsha goes down. Just too exuberant. This is what we said. You know, you can't afford to race too aggressively, and he's looked straight back on the gas, the elbow down by the foot peg. These two are going to bang bars.
Yeah, but this sand's going to bite you in the ass, Paul. If you try and make moves like that as well, you're going to deep in this moto, and you're going to be making mistakes. You're going to be losing concentration, getting tired.
Look how far back he was to even think about making that move.
Just hit that hole, and that was it. He wasn't stopping.
And look how slow the bike stopped, you know.
It just was just looking behind him going, what are you doing?
Yeah. So Team USA, look on then.
2 laps, it's just gone a bit crazy, hasn't it? I mean, we've seen some major incidents here. Christophe Pourcel last year broke down in St. Jean d'Angely, which, you know, ultimately wrecked France's plight for a podium place.
Still there in third, though. Oh, we've got rider down here. Who's that? Max Anstey. Oh. So Anstey, who was in 11th position, goes down at the end of turn 1, the same place as Barsha. Wonder if he tagged anybody as well, but there's Van Horbeke. He is not happy. And Team Belgium, he's just saying, look, just leave me alone. Just give me 5 minutes just to clear my head.
It's worth pointing out as well, Paul, reminding people that that's the joker, that's the wild card result that Belgium can drop. I mean, they're not out of it yet.
No.
but
Well,
it does
they're
place
two
a lot
riders.
of pressure on Didika and Desau in the next moto. They know they can't afford any kind of hiccups.
There's Desau just here in the corner of the garage. Here's Max Anstey going back. Ooh. He's making position straight away. We'll get his position. He comes over the line in a moment, just in about 20-30 metres or so. But it's Herlings for the Netherlands, Barsha of America, Lierop of Estonia, Didika for Belgium, Roxon Germany, Guarneri Italy, Baggett for America up to 7th place.
Yep.
Good ride for him in the early stages. Muscan in France, they're in 8th. Schiff for 9 for Germany, Waters for Australia, and Cooper for New Zealand. Cascala, Bengtson, Correa, Lingard, Stike, Jake Nichols 17th. Max Anstey way outside the top 20.
Just down the outside, 25th.
25th.
So where was he before?
11th.
He crashed yesterday as well in the qualification.
This is a battle here.
Is that Roxon coming through?
Roxon, Didika. In fact, Barsha and
squeezed.
Roxon. So Roxon is on the gas here. Herlings, Barsha, Lierop, Didika, Roxon. All those apart from, once bitten, twice shy. He's going to lose positions here. This is a battle. Roxon then goes through into 3rd place, into 2nd position.
And Didika's had a little bit of a meltdown. And we were just saying a minute ago, they just struggles to maintain that lap speed all the time. If you had a look at the last lap, a 2:07 for Ken Didika, 1:59 for Roxon. That's a big difference. You wonder if, maybe Barcia is just
losing ground there, Roxon.
But has maybe Barcia caught the rear wheel of Ken Didika? Has he lost his rear brake or something like that? He's trying to be on the left side of the bike, so it wouldn't be, but maybe just threw the Belgian off there for a while.
But look at this battle here. Ken Roxon, the lead rider in 2nd position for Germany, looking good for them. Barsha of America on a 450, let's not forget, for the Team USA. Lierop getting pushed wide there by Ken Didika. You might want to see Roxon disappearing down the straight on a 250. Looks like he's got his act back together. The Belgian there just coming over the hill on the left-hand side in the black, yellow and red colours of the Belgian flag. Estonia's Tino Lierop just off the back there on that yellow Suzuki. He's in what? Ooh, Barsha just getting the hole there through the inside.
He's hitting all those big holes, isn't he? He's really
hanging off of it. Look, the leg just missing the foot pegs. He's riding just a little bit too hard. He just wants to settle down, breathe, and then use his fitness to come into play towards the end. But he's wounded at the moment as an American because he's seen the score of America in the first race. As Didika looks to go around the outside, leans on him as well.
It's too close. But just looking back down the aisle, Baggett is in 7th place, but we cannot afford to write the Americans off. There's no way they're out of this.
I'm just watching Barsha ride here, and you've got to give him credit because he's hanging off the bike, putting everything into it. Will it pay off or will it be expensive for him?
He just need.
Adam Wheeler.
I was just saying, you just need somebody to ride on his pit board there. Look, you got another moto afterwards. Just, bring it home.
He only knows
focus
one way.
on what is, Or, the job's got to be done in the next hour and a half as well after this.
He's definitely entertaining. He can't take that away from him. We've said, haven't we? Team America always come in with 3 strong riders. He's definitely that. Not sure on the situation with Ryan Dungey, if he's riding a little bit injured after his big crash or not, or whether he's going to be 100%. But these 2 guys can certainly, pull it out of the bag in the final moto when they have to, if they have to. There's Blake Baggett. Where is he at the moment? In 7th. Riding good on the Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Looks to have got over that first race disappointment. Only about 35-40 minutes between races here, let's not forget. So he's had a 35-minute moto. Blake Baggett in the deep sand here. He was up and down the leaderboard all over the place. He was 14th, he was 23rd on the first lap, got up to 18th, went back down to 22nd, got as high as 13th before finishing 14th. And when you're racing that hard in these conditions, trying to make it pay for you, these guys, they go at it hard. These are their duration motos in America, aren't they? So fitness for the Americans, not a problem. But, it's just a different technique. The sand here, nothing like what they'd have seen before.
Davide Guarneri, a rider, who professes not to like the sand too much for Team Italy. It's a great shame for Italy. I think Antonio, I think Lupino, is he out there?
No, 28th.
Some of the guys were saying just after that first moto that he's injured his shoulder, went down in the first moto, so Team Italy's chances affected from the first race already. Yeah,
it was over on the far side, turn 13 before the triple, just as he came over the final float between first or second lap. Oh, here's Roxon and Didika. Roxon on the left now, lead rider on the little 250. Ken Didika getting out of shape as he wheelies onto one of those, what was a jump before, but it's now just a big hole.
There's a fair few holes in this track, isn't there, Paul?
Wow.
I mean, we were looking at Baggett a minute ago. He's pretty much on his own, but he's ahead of Markus Schiffer for Germany, which is an important result we should remember as well, as Ken Roczen fights for second place.
So the second, third, fourth.
Yeah.
Barsha's still fifth.
But Baggett catching Guarneri just slightly for sixth place. I mean, he's not too far off Justin Barsha. So
that's 7 seconds a gap between Guarneri and Baggett that time around. But, oh yeah, Baggett is still only a second or so slower than Guarneri. But fitness and all the rest of it and technique, Baggett might just...
Oh, Dodijk, a nice line.
Round the outside, railing it on that 450, using the power to his advantage. He's tripling here as well. Dodijk has the advantage on Roczen, but Roczen has the inside line. They're going to go for the same line, are they? No, Roczen fights back. And he goes back into, is he going to lose out here? It's a drag race between the two Red Bull KTMs. Roczen just losing out. So Ken Dodijk, then of Belgium, riding number 15, flies into second position, Adam Wheeler.
He'll keep wide here, Ken Roczen, maybe get a bit more momentum going into this next left-hand tight turn at the end of the straight.
Gets the distance there as well.
There he goes. He's going to cut back inside. Dodijk likes that wide line there. He just sweeps around. Baggett as well in the first moto, Paul, just taking a lot of wide lines, especially around that first turn. And it looked like by the end of the moto, he'd really got his, his race rhythm going after that crash early on.
Not out of it in the background there. Tano Lierop doing a great job sitting there in fourth position. Justin Barsha, the American, in fifth. He's, 6 seconds clear. Baggett in seventh. Waters is eighth for Australia. Ninth is Markus Schiffer of Germany. Cody Cooper, the New Zealander, he's in 10th place. And they're the only guys over the line at the moment. We're waiting for Marvin Muscat. And where's Jake Nichols and Max Anstie? They're 18th and 19th place. What about the Irish guys? Who have they got in this one, actually? Team Ireland.
It was Martin Barr went down there in the first corner.
Graham Erman and Stuart Edmonds, actually. So Edmonds in 27th. Erwin down in 32nd at the moment. What's the nation's classification looking like here? There's Max Anstie in 16th. Still Germany on 20, 13 points clear, look, of the USA, who've now moved up into second, and they've distanced themselves from France. So, as we said, that third and final moto, Adam Wheeler, depending on what happens here and what result counts or gets dropped in the last race, Germany could still take it, but America could be right there, right where they want to be.
As Jeffrey Herlings goes for this moto victory pool, it might be worth just trying to sum up a little bit. Belgium with Ken Dodijk fighting for a top 4, top 3 position, but they've lost Jeremy Van Horbik to a mechanical problem. Jeffrey Herlings is winning this race for the Netherlands, but they've also lost the rider. Glenn Koldenhoff pulling into the pitch will look like a broken clutch. So, these leading positions, I mean, the riders are obviously doing well and getting results out of them, but for their countries, it's not making too much of a difference. You've got Ken Roczen in third place for Germany with Markus Schiffer in ninth. And like you just said there, 13 points over, who was second place? The USA. I mean, that is a hefty amount to be taken into the final moto.
Look at this, 15 minutes to go. Jeffrey Herlings is already 26.5 seconds clear of Ken Dodijk. But just look at the way that he's railing the corners, not going too deep. Who's that gone down? That's
Denmark.
78. Magni Klingsheim in the open class, normally riding a 125 and a 250, or 250 Europeans. But Clement de Sal there, just taking a swig of drink. This is Max Anstie, still down in 16th.
It's making progress, but
we're still 5th in the classification. Again, him and Tommy Sell could work well together. 33 just ahead of him. Luis Correa of Portugal in 14th. So, but Jeffrey Herlings, just if we can stay on with him for just a considerable time, just hardly hitting any of the bumps, keeping the front wheel nice and light, launching his way down by pit lane there. Look, carrying so much speed through that first turn. Look at the difference in speed there. Then you look at the guys here really fighting all the way. But 14 minutes to go. Herlings a country mile ahead. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise out on the track at the moment. Our announcers not exactly sure why. Guarneri and Barsha, I think so. Guarneri's obviously found a way up into 5th. Justin Barsha losing a position in 6th. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone too hard too early and just blown himself out just a little bit. Might need to use these 13 minutes to regroup, breathe a little bit and go, okay, I can't fight this track anymore. It's biting me in the backside. I need to just settle down. Even there, look, in the corner in the background. And starting to sit down here. Oh, getting pitched out of the seat over that little crest.
Yeah, we're now in lap times over 2 minutes, so you've got a good I don't know, 6-7 laps left this race left. I mean, Guarneri's picked up, he's found a little bit more momentum. Maybe Barcia, like you say, Paul, just having a bit of a breather. I think you'll see him come back at Guarneri. I
wouldn't be surprised, but we just need to look at the lap times this time around. Of course, Herlings just cruising at the moment, 2 minutes exactly 0.9, and then 2:02 for Didika. Roczen, wait for him to come over. In fact, 2:05 that lap for Didika.
There we go, battle for third place. Second, yep.
Because Roxon's been pushed back to fourth. There he is in the background, and Lierop here for Estonia going after second position. It was a 2:05 lap time for Didika, the lead rider there, and it was a 2:03 for the Suzuki of Tano Lierop, who's in third place. Roxon a 2:08, Justin Barsha 2:11, 11 seconds slower than Jeffrey Herlings, and that's not patronising. It's just that Jeffrey Herlings is. One of the, if not the best sand riders in the world. We'll soon find that one out when he goes up against Cairoli in the final race.
That's going to be that's the race within this race, isn't it? Cairoli versus Herlings, really one not to miss. And Ken Didika here fighting for second position, and Belgium have lost. They played their wild card. Jeremy Van Hoorbeek is out. So, in Germany, position a moment with Ken Roczen in fourth. Marcus Schiffer still inside the top 10 in ninth. And just worth mentioning also for Team France, you've got Marvin Muscan 11th and Xavier Bourg in 12th. So those guys are keeping consistent. There's somebody touring there.
Just looking for Jake Nichols, who's been off. He's down here in 36th position. So Jake Nichols and Great Britain, the wild card has gone there. Tano Lierop gets it out of shape through that final right before dropping onto the pit lane area.
The bumps here are massive. I mean, coming down here, Ryan Dungey in the last moto, he's just been kicked over. Is this Nichols? Retirement.
Bike's gone bang.
Yep. So I get it. It's Banks Brand in the final Grand Prix this last week, Paul.
Yeah, so Great Britain have to rely on Max Anstey and Tommy Searle to at least get on the podium now in this Motocross of Nations here at Lommel.
And that's a great reminder of just how difficult it is on the bikes, not just the spirit and the physical and the mental side of these riders.
That's Guarneri, 48, looking good in fifth place for Team Italy at the moment.
I wouldn't mind Guarneri if he stays there. Cites this is one of his best ever sand races. I don't think I've ever seen him quite so effective in terrain such as this.
No. Kane Lamont, the New Zealander, MX2 rider there, number 86, just, Barsha, backhand just coming around and in there as he dropped over into the bomb hole between turn 3 and 4. Nicely done there, though.
Oops.
Rider
Yellow
down
flag.
through the wave section. Is it one of our
leaders?
Well, we've not picked it up if that's the case.
This is a battle for fifth place in this race. Might not have been Nichols just pulling up the side of the track. I wouldn't have thought they'll still have yellows out for that.
No. Well, here's Barsha. Just taking it a little bit easier. His lap time then a more respectable 2:09, so only 9 seconds slower than Herlings that time around, who's still lapping consistently quicker than anybody else by at least 5 or 6 seconds, certainly over the guys behind him, Tano Lierop and Ken Didika. 7 seconds of difference between him and Roczen. Guarneri 2:08, Barsha we just saw a 2:09. Baggett, his teammate now, only 8 seconds behind, so won't make any difference in terms of the overall result where they are, unless Baggett can actually go after Guarneri, of course.
Yeah, this has been a costly race for the Netherlands, for Belgium, for the UK, Great Britain. But at the moment, the pairings, you've got Roczen and you've got Schiffer, top 10 results. You've got Barcia and Baggett. These results could be key to the USA even fighting for victory in the
French
last race.
Together as well with
French,
Xavier Bourg in 11th and 13th.
So really only Belgium kind of suffering a little bit, but Germany, this has been a positive moto for the US and also for Germany and also for France. So it's really going to be a nice action-packed race, perhaps behind Cairoli and Herlings in the final moto.
Before we came here, I was on Wednesday night, I had dinner with some of the American personnel, and we were talking about the track here and everything else. And I think pretty much everybody agreed that on a one-to-one basis, nobody has to race, the likes of Tony Cairoli or a Jeffrey Herlings, for instance. And I think Blake Baggett, after that first race, I think he's got in here and gone, you know what? I'm just going to do my own thing, ride my own race. He's not rushing it like we saw Barsha in the beginning. Barsha tried to blow himself out there, going after a race win in the early stages. And we always say you can't win a race in the first laps.
Yeah.
It's what happens at the end. He's still got Guarneri there in his sights, but how much damage did he do in the beginning there? Just, fighting the bike the way that he did. And obviously, that might have just made a decision for him.
Yeah, how many times we've seen Grand Prix here and riders just talk about settling into their rhythm, finding a race pace, and then just, winding the clock down. And that's what it's about here. You just have to go the distance, keep it on 2 wheels.
I mean,
that's half of the battle.
The TV doesn't look, on TV, it doesn't look that bad. You know, I'm sure there's people watching at home, whether you're in the States or anywhere else around the world, and going, yeah, it doesn't look that bad. The bumps don't look that big, but the thing is, they're short and they're sharp. The sand is really grabby. It's quite heavy. It just pulls the front end in. So as soon as you back off, it swallows everything up. So then you need the momentum. To keep that momentum, you need fitness and you need bike setup. So without one or the other, you're going to suffer. And those big braking bumps coming into the corner there, we just saw at Cafe Turn or wherever else. I mean, look how deep that was there. Justin Barsha was up to his knees just as he went through the hole.
And it's you're always on the gas and you're always on the pegs. It's just relentless.
He's right back on the case of Guarnieri. So just as you predicted, Adam Wheeler on trackoffroad.com. Barsha there around the outside on the red Honda. He's found a way back onto the Italian. Davide Guarnieri is looking to take 5th. So the Italian, Guarnieri, looking to go too wide here. He's dealing with a back marker. That's not big, but when you're dropping down the other side of that, that hole is horrendous, believe me.
Just wants to swallow that front wheel, doesn't it?
So here's Barsha. This was flat all the way through here yesterday, first lap of practice, but look how big those holes have got. Barsha goes to the inside. Great
Britain down to 9th.
In the classification.
New Zealand 13th, you know, after coming through the B final earlier. I spoke to Josh Coppins quickly after the first race, and that was a pretty impressive performance by the veteran there, considering he'd already done 30 plus 2 this morning.
Yeah.
Barsha's just got to be a matter of time here before he takes 5th position.
Guarnieri.
Roger Da Costa.
Looking on.
He's probably doing his sums, working out what's got to be done in that final race.
You know that's what's happening right there. You've got a pen in the top pocket. And
calculator.
Yeah. But Germany, the surprise nation at the moment, but what happens in the final race with Schiffer and who else have we got for Germany? Nagel, yes.
But I mean, you don't want to put the commentator's curse on anything, Paul, but look at what's happened to Van Horbit, look at what's happened to Nichols and Colton off. It just takes one tip off, or, you know, one little glitch and the bike goes, and that's it. You picked up like 38 points.
Right, but it's going to be feeling the pressure right now. Number 48, Davide Guarnieri here in the blue. He's got Justin Barsha, who's regrouped. He's taken a few laps to steady himself, and now he's going after him here, hanging off the back of the bike over the Fox Floater. He's got the driving line, and Guarnieri just stands up and says, you can have it. You know, I'm pretty much done. I know what it's like. I don't want to push. I want to try and bring as many points home for Italy as I can. Around the outside this time for Barsha through there.
But having said that about Italy, Paul, if Guarnieri can take a top 5 result and Cairoli wins the next moto, that's going to be a fantastic score sheet for them.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know with 5.5 plus 2 to go here, so at least another 4 or 5 minutes on top of that. Whoever wins this Motocross of Nations, Adam Wheeler, this year, as Didika and Tonelli Lierop.
Yeah, back again.
So Didika's gone back into 2nd position. Whoever wins it this year will truly deserve it, won't they? Because Didika off the side of the bike, Lierop up the inside, trying to find the shortest route round. Nice line there from Didika.
Yeah, just kick wide there. I mean, all he needed is a little lump, a square-edge bump there, and he would have been out.
But due to the nature of the circuit, not an easy place to come to. Every rider having to fight for every single point this year. And it's still not clearly decided, even though Germany out in front at the moment in the nations classification. Still a very long way to go. They'll be very nervous going into that race. Over the line. This was Didika and Lierop on the gas for Didika. Yeah. Just watching the replay here, Ken Didika up the inside of Tonelli Lierop, who just got it wrong, and probably the front wheel there was enough to push Tonelli Lierop wide. That was Didika going back into 2nd position, but they're 48 seconds down on our race leader, Jeffrey Herlings, who's gone under the 2 minutes. He's now 1:59.7 compared to the 2:03 and 2:05 of Didika and Lierop. Roczen is 4th for Germany, Guarnieri 5th for Italy. Barsha, in fact, Barsha's gone through on Guarnieri in 5th. There we go with a 2:07, so 8 seconds slower than Jeffrey Herlings. And I mean, we're not surprised at that, knowing how we know Herlings and what he did in the sand at the MX2 Grand Prix 3 or 4 weeks ago. But I guess for American viewers that are at home watching, go, there's no way that guy can be 8 seconds a lap faster than Justin Barsha. But it's just that if you're not used to riding, you can say, yes, Southwick is sand, but it's a harder base sand. This is just bottomless. It's very difficult to master.
And it's, I mean, to do sub 2 minute laps, you know, 12 laps into this motorpool, I mean, that's outstanding. I mean, his lap time differential is like 4 seconds.
Having a good ride. Marcus Schiffer doing a great job backing up his teammate there, Ken Roczen.
9th place still.
If you can do that in the 2nd moto, And Anstey looked up to 10. Right, 3.5 minutes to go, or just 3 minutes 15 on the clock. Let's give you a quick rundown. Jeffrey Herlings for the Netherlands is over the line now, completed 13 laps. De Dijker was second last time around. Lierop was third for Estonia. Roczen for Germany 4. Barsha, America 5. Guarnieri, Italy 6. Todd Waters, Australia 7. Blake Baggett, America, has been passed by Todd Waters, so loses a position, drops to 8. Schiffer from Germany, that's who we're looking at on screen now, number 21 in 9th. Max Anstey has come from outside the top 20. He's now in 10th, our strongest rider for sure, I think, even in the next moto against Tommy Searle, or with Tommy Searle. Xavier Bourg 11, Marvin Musquin 12 for France. Both of those. Luis Correa of Portugal 13, Cody Cooper of New Zealand, Alex Tonkov of Russia, Philip Bengtson, Prit Ratsep, Carl Olsen, Stefan Olsen, and Luke Stike of Australia down in 20th place. Jake Nichols, of course, out. His bike went bang about 4 or 5 laps ago. So Germany, as a result, 21 points on the board for them. Still yet to finish outside of the single figures. A 3rd and a 5th in the first race, a 4th and a 9th here in second moto.
9th being the worst result, Paul.
9th being the worst result. At the moment, America can drop their 14 points from the 14th of Baggett in race 1. They're on 34 at the moment. That'll put them to 20, but then likewise, if it was to stop here, Germany rather, could go from 21 and lose 9.
And we're just watching pictures of Marvin Musquin on the screen, his final ride of the day in MX2, and France in 3rd place. 10 points behind the USA, but then also 10 points ahead of Belgium. And Belgium has still got a little bit of work to do. That DNF for Van Holbeek is going to be costly. And then you've got Estonia 5th position, the Netherlands in 6th. That big one of Jeffrey Herlings just contrasting sharply with Koldenov's 39 in this moto.
Oh.
Great Britain down in 7th.
So 120 plus 2 laps here. The second race of the 66th edition of the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations. My name's Paul Malin, alongside me Adam Wheeler from OnTrackOffRoad.com, and we're watching these guys, the best riders in the world, really struggling to come to terms with the very deep conditions here. Some obviously getting on with it better than others, but it's had a bit of a facelift since the last time we were here for a Grand Prix back in 2011. Jeffrey Herlings making light work of it, though. He's the only rider to come through, completing 14 laps at the moment. We're waiting for Ken de Dijker to come through as Xavier Bourg just goes over the line, and that gives you an indication how far ahead Jeffrey Herlings is compared to the likes of Baggett, Schiffer, Anstey, Bourg and Musquin.
In the last Grand Prix we had in the Sun, Jeffrey Herlings lapped up to 2nd place in the first moto and up to 3rd place in the second moto. Now he's almost a minute ahead of second positioning Ken de Dijker.
And this is him.
3rd, yep.
Just picking his way through there, wheeling, getting a bit of distance.
Is he going to beat Coiroli, Paul? We were talking already about that, you know, at the end of the first moto. I mean, this is the big showdown of the day, isn't it?
Lapping, is this Baggett? So onto the rear wheel. So Blake Baggett been lapped in both races. He was 14th. He was the last guy to get lapped, and Herlings down the inside. Look,
8th place. Baggett in 8th place.
But Baggett knows that's irrelevant. You know, as long as Baggett can pass Todd Waters here, which is right ahead of him, then that'll be another point gained. Can't do anything about Herlings, who very cheekily pulls a roll off one-handed through one of the deepest corners on the track. But there's Guarnieri down in 6th place. So the battle between Todd Waters and Blake Baggett, those two absolutely wheel to wheel. I wouldn't be surprised if Baggett moves back into 7th.
And Barsi has disappeared in 5th position. He's pretty much on his own now. There's a big gap to Ken Roczen.
Yeah,
so the USA looking more or less a 5th and a 7th, possibly a 6th here. Big important points.
I mean, we're just looking at the fact that Jeffrey Herlings has lapped and Baggett has gone through on Todd Waters on the yellow Suzuki. So Baggett comes over the line in 7th position. How far is Guarnieri ahead?
Too far.
Too far. 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's 2 laps to go. That's too much unless Guarnieri really cannot cope. That's warrant signs for Italy in the last moto.
But this has been a great display of riding, actually, from Blake Baggett. Yep. Just been cool, calm, collected. Hasn't tried to race anything. Todd Waters looking to go around the outside, leans on him, squeezes him, pushes him into a back marker. Very, very lucky not to go down there. I mean, there was nothing wrong on Todd Waters' part. He put the squeeze on him, but pushed him right onto the back marker, and he had to pull out of the challenge there, did Blake Baggett. Very lucky to keep it up on the 2 wheels in 7th. So Todd Waters, great bit of riding there for the Australian, as he looks to defend his 7th place now, because he just found a way past Blake Baggett in that little exchange.
It's MXoN.
Yeah. He's just been passed by Max. No, we've got Tonkov behind them.
There's the Dijker. Yeah, I think he's being lapped, isn't he?
Yeah.
Second position.
So we've got Jeffrey Herlings then, the Netherlands, 52 seconds clear of Ken de Dijker, 56 seconds clear of Tanel Lierop. Roczen, he's a minute and 22 ahead of him. Justin Barsha, we wait for him to come over the line, but that's going to be about another 20 seconds, I think, so about 140. Yeah. So, like we saw in Lierop,
he's lapped up to 6th place.
And this is 5 minutes shorter in duration. than a Grand Prix moto. So Ken de Dijker having a great ride for Team Belgium. Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, his teammate, out. Max Anstey in 10th, his teammate is out. Who else is in there with no teammate?
Herlings winning the moto for the Netherlands, but 38 points for Glenn Coldenwell.
So playing pretty good into the hands then of Team USA. This was Herlings at the inside of Blake Baggett. Takes a look over, sees the orange 27 go by.
Baggett on that wide line there that he was using in the first moto was so effective for regaining ground.
Be interesting to hear.
Is that Borg?
Yeah, Xavier Borg. Is he closing in there?
No.
Just been lapped.
Just been lapped. Yeah, Borg down in 11th place. So de Dijker going through.
Yeah, Jeffrey Herlings won't be keeping him down. Well, we won't be keeping him quiet in the post-race interview.
No. Should be coming over the line any second, I think, Jeffrey.
So final lap, we're 16 laps complete for Jeffrey Herlings. Ken de Dijker making his way through the rhythm section now, the wave section, right in front of a Belgian hospitality and a VIP section of the circuit. Of course, the Belgian Federation celebrating 100 years in motocross this year. So they would love to at least get on the podium. Joel Smets wouldn't be happy with anything other than a win, but given the fact now that the wild card, as you say, Adam Wheeler, is out of the race, it's down to de Salle and de Dijker to perform in that race just to salvage any hope now. It's not out of the question that they can't win it. Of course, so who's gone down there in the corner? Here's Herlings already celebrating, so it's not one of our leading riders. So a great display of dominance.
17 years old, MX2 world champion.
Just 18.
Okay.
2 days after or 3 days after Faenza.
Is that MXoN? No.
That was Barsha crashing.
Oh. How's that going to affect things?
He's got a problem. Front end's locked up. The front end is locked up. This is going to be. This is not. He's not going to get over the line here. He's got to come into the pit lane.
Is he going to try and do it? He can't snake it.
I tell you what, this is not good for Barsha. Barsha was in 5th position. It was him that crashed in the background, not one of our leaders, but it was Barsha. So Barsha, depending on what happens here now in terms of how many of the riders have been lapped, he will still be classified with the result. Don't forget.
Yep.
But Herlings takes the win. He lights the candles for the Netherlands. De Dijker, Lierop, Roczen, Guarneri.
No, he's parked it.
He's parked it, and he's outside the pit lane. And look at that. That bike is steaming. There's no way.
By my calculations, Paul, I think that's 33 points the US are going to pick up.
I tell you what, this is interesting now.
Let's have a quick look at the standings, because 33 points, I mean, it was previously 6. So, you know, the difference there, it's going to be...
There's De Costa, look, that bike's going nowhere. The thing is, he's right on the entry to pit lane there. So, drama here again for Team USA. He created all the headlines yesterday.
He's free. Is he going to finish the race?
Well, it depends. Whereabouts? You're not allowed to work on the bike until you're actually in the work area. De Dijker very, very close there. So if the mechanics pull the bike in from outside the work area, what's the work area? Is it the actual entry in pit lane, or is it within the thing? Again, it's a very grey area.
Please don't tell me, Paul, that Justin Barsha is going to fall foul of the rule book. You know, I can't see it happening, but he has to get across the finish line just to minimise the damage.
Yeah.
I mean, now France into 2nd place.
Let's just go back here then in terms of the race result itself.
It's all been turned upside down here in the last seconds. It's quite staggering to try and follow this. Here comes Roczen. Roczen, you know, Jeffrey Herlings is already having a drink, but Ken Roczen hasn't finished the lap.
So we've got Herlings, Lierop, De Dijker, Roczen, Guarneri,
Baggett made it to 6th, and Schiffer up to 7th. I mean,
he did get over the line. That bike's still smoking heavily.
So where did Barsha finish? 14th. I tell you what, that was a big move by Team USA in the pit lane.
Massive.
They needed to do that, otherwise it was over. I mean, it could still almost be practically impossible.
Well, put it this way, 14th, that equals the 14th of Blake Baggett in the first race. We know at least at the moment they're throwing away at least 14 points. When they wanted to throw away Baggett's 14 and keep the 5 points there of Justin Barsha.
In the period of 30 seconds, the USA have bounced from second to 6, and now they've gone back to second. So that was the crucial moment of the day so far, I think.
Massive.
But then now we look at, we've got the points rundown here. Germany on 19, USA on 41, and France on 42. So Germany have an advantage of 22 points. That's amazing. I don't think I've seen that in the nations in a long time going into the final race.
I'll tell you what, we're sat pretty close to where the bikes are pulling out, and there's a lot of burning oil out there and everything else. I'm not sure if that's anything to do with Barsha's bike or anything else. But with 2 races gone, Germany 19 points, USA second, France third on 42. Jeffrey Herlings walks down to the winner's circle. Barely looks like he's broken a sweat. Yeah. He was pretty dominant in that first race. And the crowd out there, they will know what's going on because our announcers up in the tower, they will have the same timing information and the overall classification that we have. But look at that, Herlings almost a minute clear of Tanel Lierop. And Tadika will get the results now. Third, Roxon fourth, Guarneri, Baggett, Schiffer, Waters, Anstey. Good for him in ninth.
All the way out the top 20 at one point. 25th, Max Anstey came from 25th to 9th. And the 2 Frenchmen just went, played tandem the whole moto. We got very solid results in 9th and 10th. Oh, beg your pardon, 10th and 11th, Max Anstey in 9th. Justin Barsha, 14th. Wow.
Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, Adam. Disappointment for the Belgians.
Joel Smet saying he was here as an 11-year-old in 1981 when the USA won. He left very disappointed that day. He said he didn't want to do it again here this weekend. But Belgium, now it's pretty much looking outside the realms of possibility.
Classification then for race 2. MX2 and Open. Cleanest man on track. Jeffrey Herlings wins it for the Netherlands. Estonia with Lierop second. Kenderdijker, Belgium third. But look at that again. Inside the top 8, 2 German riders, Roxon and Schiffer. Guarneri was 5th, Baggett 6th. Waters was 8th. Anstey up to 9th for Great Britain. Xavier Bourg of France ahead of his teammate Marvin Muscat.
Good team riding there.
Good for those guys. But look at that, Barsha, crucial, Adam Wheeler, down in 14th position. It could have so been 39 or 40 points or whatever. It wouldn't have been as many as that because of how many riders finished ahead of him and went out on the, or how far he lapped up to as well. So,
yeah, we've got to deliberate on it because they are the reigning champions 7 times in a row. It's, it was 33 points I think he would have been picking up. So, he cut that by over a half.
Yeah.
And, it's been an eventful race for him, isn't it?
They're going to be nervous in Team USA at the moment. There's a lot of ground to make up on Germany. A lot of ground to make up.
23 points.
But it's not over. It is not over. Yeah. And that is the great thing about this event. Until the checkered flag, the final race, of course, America got the 2 strongest riders. They could go first and second. They could. But with Cairoli and Herlings, it's going to be very difficult. Here's the nation's classification then. Of course, you can drop a race.
From 6 results, you can drop the worst one, so you're counting your 5.
Germany 19, look at that, a massive margin. USA second, France third, Estonia fourth, Belgium, Netherlands, Russia, Italy.
The battle was for second for me.
Yeah.
You've got to watch where the Americans and the French are going to be in this next moto. America have Barcia and also Dungey. And then you got maybe in the French you have Paulin, who had a fantastic first moto, and also Xavier Bourg.
Tommy Searle, Max Anstey for Great Britain, of course, they're outside the top 10 at the moment, or I think they're just outside, or maybe even 9th or something like that. But
German flags, they didn't come all this way for, well, this way.
Just across the border. Yeah. But I was talking to Ulf Simon, our German commentator, after qualifying yesterday, obviously singing the praises after the first qualifying race and after the second one. And he said, who's going to be on top step for the qualifying after the third one? I went, Belgium or the Netherlands. Of course, Germany qualified fastest and in first place, and they're doing it here in the race as well.
Was it in Denver 2 years ago? Germany were very close to...
They were third in Denver.
Yeah. First ever podium, I think.
Well done, Jeffrey. As expected, you completely dominated in that race. How did it feel out there?
Felt amazing, you know, I did really well. Took the whole shot thanks to the deceleration, gave me a first gate pick, and then it was pretty easy to bring it home. Won with about a minute, but just have a short break the second motor, so get a quick recover now and get back to the gate again. Hope to do well. The second motor is going to be really tough to beat Tony, but going to give my best.
Okay, we'll see you next race.
Not wrong. Will be tough to beat Tony Cairoli, but it's going to be a great matchup between those two if they get out first and second.
Yeah, that's the jewel of the day, isn't it, we said.
I mean, obviously, there's a bigger thing at stake. Of course, the Motocross of Nations, the Chamberlain Trophy. Those two can go out and battle first and second and first, whichever they want. That would be for personal pride. But it'd be a great display of riding either way, whichever way you look at it, Adam Wheeler.
That may be the first time I've ever heard a rider say that it was easy riding at Lommel. Usually afterwards, everybody's a little bit, you know, zombified. But I mean, there's just technique, isn't it? Just supreme technique and confidence.
I think Tony Cairoli might be a match for him, though. That'll be the interesting matchup. But we're getting ready to speak to our second place finisher. Here he is with Amy. Tanel.
Ken Dodiko, a great race there from you. You looked as though you were really pushing hard and fighting for that second.
Yeah, it was hard. I think bar shock came into me, and from then on didn't shift so well the bike. So yeah, it was hard to keep speed and was also scary because yeah, didn't want to make a mistake. And hopefully we can do the third moto a little bit better because yeah, need to be on the podium.
Well done.
Kenny Dyker.
Third place.
Third place for him. I just thought we got it wrong there, actually. Got it in the second, but it was Tanel Lierop who was second. Kenny Dyker was third.
And he rode a good race,
He
but
did.
the face of disappointment there, just, you know, probably someone informing him that Jeremy Van Horbeck retired with a technical problem, and it's looking tough for Belgium now.
We saw already the nation's classification, so just to reconfirm, it was Herlings for the Netherlands, Lierop of Estonia. He's going to be interviewed in just a few seconds. Dodiko here was third for Belgium. Still not over for them to get on the podium, probably. We say the last race, the important one of the day. Roxon was fourth for Germany. Here's Amy. She's with Tanel Lierop. He finished second.
Tano, you looked really comfortable out there on the stand, and of course a massive help to your country in the standings.
Yeah, I get a good start, and first lap I settled in nicely. I made my way already to second, but can find some energy and pass me in. But I kept close, and last lap I give everything what I had, and I could make a pass before the finish.
Thanks, Tano.
Yeah, as it stands at the moment, Germany on 19, USA 41, France 42, Estonia with that second place finish of Tanel Lierop up into fourth place, ahead of Belgium who are on 55. So Adam Wheeler on trackoffroad.com. We've had two races down. What have you seen so far? What are you expecting for the third and final moto?
I think Germany are way ahead here, Paul. It's definitely theirs to win. You've got a battle for second place between the USA and France, and very close for the final kind of, you know, fourth place between Estonia and Belgium. Is only 1 point in it, but if you look at the results of Estonia so far, a 17th, a 20th, a 15th and a second, there's a big disparity there. It's I can't see Estonia beating Belgium, but like Ken Dodiko said, they want to try and get up on the podium, and for that to happen, Belgium on 55, France on 42, that's quite a big gap to eat in. I mean, you're going to need some mechanical failures for that order to change in any significant way. Big crowd.
I was about to say that I wasn't expecting a big crowd here, because in the past this place hasn't been the best spectator venue, but they've done a lot of work here, haven't they, Eric Gabors and the team?
Yeah, I mean, Saturday already we had a Grand Prix size crowd, and you know, it's a struggle to get around. I mean, the place is absolutely full. It's great to see.
Right, Adam Wheeler on trackoffroad.com. Thanks for joining us here. We're going to take a look behind the scenes at Team USA and Team Belgium. We recorded these on Friday before the riders had turned a wheel. So nice insight, though, into the minds of the riders as they prepared for the toughest race of the year by far, the 66 Monster Energy Motocross Nations here at Lommel. Starting with Team USA, I think.
your 4th time at Nations, but your 1st time in the sand. A lot of the Euros saying you guys might struggle this year, but how's the preparations gone?
The preparation's been great. We actually came over a little bit early to get some time and get a little bit better with the bike setup if we could, and it's been awesome. We kind of got a bit of every kind of sand here all around this area, so it's been a lot of fun. Definitely heard a lot about Lamo. Definitely sounds like a really physically tough track, so it's going to be a challenge. You know, all of USA, we know this, but it's a challenge we all look forward to. And you know, at the end of the day, as long as we do the best we can and work together as a team, you know, I think we should be good.
We had a chance to get on the track here, on part of the track on Friday last week, and then we went to 2 other tracks, Vegel in the Netherlands and Gravenbroich in Germany. And I think it's a good thing that we had a chance to do that, get used to sand and the weather, and get our bikes, you know, working in these conditions. The riders, they race against each other pretty hard in the US every weekend. And then from one weekend to the next, you have to be teammates, you know. It kind of feels a little bit strange. And so we got over that initial cool factor, and they're bonding together pretty well from what I've seen, and I'm looking for a good weekend.
Like, it's your 2nd time at Nations. Compared to last year, how are you feeling? Are you feeling a bit more relaxed coming into this weekend?
Yeah, definitely a little bit more relaxed, but also, you know, the feelings are still there of wanting to win, and, you know, having Team USA on your back and representing. But being the 2nd year, I definitely think that I know what to expect, and I'm definitely ready.
And you've been in Europe now for a couple of weeks. Have you guys been having fun?
Yeah, no, we definitely have been having fun in Europe. We've got to ride here at the racetrack, and we also rode 2 other practice tracks. We got to do a little bit of testing and just get some things worked out. So we're excited and we're all ready.
Justin, it's your 1st time here at Nations. Have the other guys told you what you can expect this weekend?
Yeah, a little bit. Expect craziness, lots of fans, lots of fun, but really looking forward to it. So ecstatic to be on Team USA. We're going to do our best and try to win.
And we're used to seeing you going bar to bar with Blake. How has the transition been over to being now teammates?
It's actually really good. You know, we have a job to do, and we know what we have to do, and we're here to have fun and try to win a race, and it's good. You know, we're all having a great time and bonding pretty well, actually.
Ken, it's not very often the opportunity to ride your home nation comes around. How are you feeling this weekend? Are you more nervous?
No, more relaxed. Went home and sleep there and just had some fun. Have a friend with me the whole time, so just laughing and walking around. So that's the best thing to do. And it's Belgium here, and hopefully gonna be enough spectators to cheer us on to the top.
Joel, you have a very strong team this year. At the very least, are you looking at a podium?
Podium, yeah, but 2nd and 3rd would feel like really disappointment. It's clear, we go for the win. We have a strong team, and yeah, of course, podium. Every year we would be happy with the podium, but not this year. We're only happy with the highest step on the podium.
Home nations. Are you more excited for this event?
Yeah, I'm more excited, definitely. It's the biggest event of the year, you know, and it's home crowd, so yeah, I'm looking forward, and I just hope we can do it.
Clement, nice finish in the World Championship this year. What are you expecting from Team Belgium and Nations?
Yeah, my finish in the World Championship was okay, but you know, still 2nd position, so I'm working to be 3rd, but it's not so easy. About Team Belgium, we are expecting to win, sure. You know, I think we have a team consistent and can hope a good result. Yeah.
And do you think the fact that it is your home nations, we're on the sand track, it gives Team Belgium an advantage?
Yeah, you know, riding sand track is like really particular, so I think we have an advantage because we have, like I said, we have a consistent team and we can hope to have a really good result of the team with that. And yeah, we are really close of home, and yeah, sand race in Mix of Nations. It's not often that we are winning deep sand for that, so it will be exciting to see.
Well, great insight then into the teams of USA and Team Belgium. That's all for now on the Motocross of Nations. Join us in about 30-40 minutes time for the final race of the day. Of course, that'll be MX1 and MX Open.